Since their invention in the 1940s, nuclear weapons have shocked the world. Following World War II, devices were created that so far surpassed the power of the ones used in the war, it's almost hard to comprehend. From the Castle Bravo test, whose explosive power was more than double what scientists expected, to the Tsar Bomba, the most powerful and destructive nuclear device ever created on our planet. Here are the 5 largest nuclear tests that were ever caught on camera. More than a few decades ago, the first large-scale test of a thermonuclear device took place. The code name given was Ivy Mike, and it produced a blast of 10.4 megatons of TNT. Due to the size of the device, it was known beforehand that it would never be suitable for use as a deliverable weapon. Instead, it was considered a conservation project, basically meaning that it was a proof of concept experiment. On October 31st, 1952, the United States tested it on the island of Eluana. Images show that the device itself resembled that of a factory made for nuclear weapons. The building itself was made of aluminum and given the nickname Shark. After months of planning, a brief countdown commenced. Ivy Mike was there. In total, 9,350 members of the military and 2,300 civilians were involved in this one test. Work was finally completed on October 30th at 5 p.m. Within an hour, everybody involved was evacuated to a safe distance. The mushroom cloud created rose to a height of 56,000 feet in less than 90 seconds. A minute later, it had reached over 108,000 feet. The blast was so powerful, it completely erased the island on which it occurred from the map, as before and after pictures show. But this was only the beginning for the United States. And, as you're about to see, many larger tests occurred in the coming years. Now, if we talk about the biggest nuclear tests, we cannot fail to mention Operation Castle. Operation Castle was a series of high-powered military nuclear tests conducted by the United States Joint Task Force 7 on Bikini Atoll, an uninhabited atoll of about 6 square kilometers that is part of the Marshall Islands. It is a very famous site on the planet because of the immense amount of nuclear testing that took place there. In fact, it is estimated that between 1946 and 1958, more than 20 atomic and hydrogen bombs were tested in the territory. And the incredible TX-17 launched in the Castle Romeo test was among them. On March 27, 1954, TX-17 became the first air-dropped thermonuclear weapon to be tested. Due to its destructive capacity of 11 megatons, the explosion of the bomb was overwhelming and resulted in a large red light illuminating the entire sky. The test was considered to be a great success and led to further tests in the area, including the largest nuclear bomb ever detonated by the United States. But first, we must show you the second largest, a test codenamed Castle Yankee. On May 5, 1954, the United States tested yet another nuclear device at Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands. This one was named Castle Yankee, and it released energy equivalent to 13.5 megatons of TNT, making it the second largest nuclear test done by the United States. The estimated yield from this device was roughly 9.5 kilotons, so it was surprising to many when this number was far exceeded. 2 minutes after detonation, the mushroom cloud rose to a height of 40,000 feet, equivalent to 32 Empire State Buildings. Roughly 4 days after this test, fallout reached Mexico City, some 7,100 miles away. There were some technical difficulties during the tests, but officials largely considered them a success. However, the tests performed at Bikini Atoll also altered public perception about the safety of nuclear tests once they'd become aware of the long-term side effects of fallout. There is one nuclear device in the history of the United States that stands out above the rest. It was the largest ever detonated by the country, and one that surprised even the experts. The code name of the bomb was the Shrimp, but many of us know it by its operation name, Castle Bravo. Much like the other Castle tests, this one occurred at Bikini Atoll, and on March 1st, 1954, the Castle Bravo test commenced. It was noteworthy for being the first lithium deuteride-fueled thermonuclear weapon tested by the country. Scientists expected the bomb to produce an explosion of 6 megatons. However, due to unforeseen reactions from the use of lithium-7, the blast was measured more than double that size, coming in at 15 megatons. As a result of the greater-than-expected yield, radiological contamination spread to nearby islands, affecting U.S. soldiers and inhabitants living in the region, along with a Japanese fishing boat. It took 3 days to evacuate citizens, but by then, it was too late. Hundreds suffered from radiation sickness. The blast led to an international incident over thermonuclear testing, with traces from this event found in places like India and Australia. A few years later, in 1963, a partial nuclear test ban treaty was signed to hopefully limit incidents like these from happening ever again. Operation Hardtack 1 was a series of 35 nuclear tests conducted by the United States that included more nuclear detonations than the sum of all previous nuclear explosions in the Pacific Ocean. This operation, led by Joint Task Force 7, involved approximately 19,100 personnel, including members of the U.S. military, civilian employees, affiliates of the Department of Defense, and the Atomic Energy Commission. The tests, which took place between April 28 and August 18, 1958, became some of the most fascinating nuclear tests ever recorded on camera. On May 16th, a test known as Wahoo took place. While it's not on this list for being one of the biggest, we included it because it gives you a new and high-definition look at the scale of a nuclear blast, and because it's one that occurred underwater.